Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick six. And his first pass is incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Ben to throw again. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you've put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They're going to look to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. So a collective holding a breath here as the starter heads for the sideline. And they will hand things over to their backup quarterback. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So they're operating in the red zone. On the carry, it's Logan. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And they're definitely showing blitz here. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. That's pulled in at the 32. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? they've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And tough starting field position here. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Now a handoff as they run left side. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Roethlisberger. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Here's Roethlisberger. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Looking to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that. Because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Set! Blue line! No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Leopard! Watching now, Marty! All right, here we go. Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the Rams getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Rams on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game. And that one makes it 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now Austin. And a good hit there and knocked down hard. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown Cardinals. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want...
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
All right, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 30, the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, Go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he... ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Rams on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been